what I wanted to do first was give you kind of a safety brief, then an overview of the lane, then introduce you to some of the players, and then get into the lane a little bit, and then let you get started. All right? So as far as safety, first thing, your team leaders have been given a copy of the ROEs. These are applicable for this lane. There's some more copies up here. There's also a copy machine back there if you need it. General depth, the grass is very high. There are also bugs and ticks, so be careful of that. Pyro and smoke. They are allowing smoke. Please be careful about close distance length of firing of your weapons. Let's see, I think that's pretty much it. As far as the lane, it may be changed a little bit, depending how things go. We're going to start with the setting up of the media center. I don't know if that's fully set up. Then you'll have a press release component, query component. Then there'll be the field component of it with the stand-up interviews. Our guys are going to be participating. And so you know, they're going to be, as I understand, they're going to be two teams, right? Can the team lead? There's going to be two OCs and two media people today. Tomorrow, it's going to be kind of meshed in, and all the media. There's going to be a lot more media, not OCs assigned per team. They're not part of the game. They're here to basically observe the exercise. Okay, and for the media. Team 1 is going to be Major Brown, all right, and Sergeant First Class Inks.
Right here.
Right. Okay, good.
Right.
Team 2 is going to be Captain Fields, okay, and Captain Heber. Okay. There's also going to be at the media center. There's also going to be an OC. It's going to be Sergeant Spencer, who's behind you, and that's going to be. For Team 1, Sergeant Panko, Sergeant Cerealis. Okay. And then Sergeant Udick is going to be one of the leads at the site. Which site is it? Sorry, Site 1. And then so your team leaders have been given the scenarios for this exercise. And I think you've also gone through this to some extent via your op order. Okay. So basically, welcome to Apan. Apan is a Near East nation, very poor, third world nation. The people have undergone 20 to 30 years of war. They've grown up with weapons by a group of zealots known as the Tarshiks, and they were being supported by a group of terrorists known as the Holy Warriors. And the Holy against the nation of Apan and the Tarshiks and the Holy Warriors. There were many civilian casualties in the nation of Apan. The Tarshik government has since fallen, and the coalition government has been set up. The government, although supported by the UN, is still unstable, and there's still a lot of local violence and remnant Tarshik and Holy Warrior elements in Apan. The coalition is comprised of the ethnic Pershiks, which comprise the previous Tarshik government, and also the Urshiks and Tassiks from the north, who were friendlier to the United States, and who also now comprise the government. The U.S. layout, you are in base Cosmic Ray in the vicinity of Kandir. The situations you'll be dealing with are in the villages of Asana and Peshawar. One is there were reports by indigent personnel, by locals, that a U.S. bomb hit the village of this, and reported to the military, and further investigation was underway. A second incident is a U.S. Special Forces soldier, Staff Sergeant Angus Coburn, was killed while on a mission in Peshawar. And it's unclear whether he was killed from within the village or outside the village. It's unclear who actually committed the act. So again, an investigation. 500 screaming teenagers was blown up in Alabama.
Why's it got to Alabama?
Were they screaming before or after?
Also, is the U.S. the only country here? There are no other NATO countries supporting?
No, there are some other NATO. There are U.S. as you know has a lot of allies, especially Britain, and that nation is also here in support.
All right, now one last question.
I'm sorry?
You said the name of this country is Hassan?
Afghan. The name of the country?
Yeah.
Afghan.
Okay. I think the map that you just showed had Hassan or something like that.
Osan is one of the,
There's a village to the south of you, Peshawar, and a village to the north of you, Asana.
We're in Afghanistan.
And you have to give me an example.
Religion. Or
don't do this.
No.
All miles must be in operable condition and worn properly. Mile supply and maintenance is the unit's responsibility. And no miles, burns, or covering of the sensors will be tolerated. The soldier may tell the OC that he or she desires to search the op for a soldier, and the OC will procure any intel from the op for and give it to the player unit. Okay, any lost items will be turned into the OCs. Obstacles in fire positions will be cleared and filled. Okay, direct fire engagements, no engagements closer than 10 meters, we discussed that. Player units must call a safety kill within 10 meters with an OC.
Things of that nature. Don't do that. Okay. Here's what the ROE permits you to do. You have the right to stop and search people. I'd recommend you don't do that. You have the right to detain, the right to establish restrict access. You have the right to defend friendly forces, protected, person with protected status and protected property. So, President here said they're on their own, but realistically they're not, because they're not gonna know what's going on. They're not soldiers, and their first inclination may be something totally opposite of what a trained soldier would do. Keep that in mind and try and guide those guys as much as possible. Hey, get your head down. Hey, get behind the wall, whatever it may be.
I don't know that we'll specifically be doing that. That's what we'll call the MPs for.
Be able to fire against any individual who
And the right to use force to defend friendly forces. Most importantly, deadly force is authorized in self-defense against hostile belligerents who use or threaten to use of deadly force against friendly deliberately driving vehicle action or friendly forces or protected status.
And you don't destroy property. So here's the three
You may also
principles I need
open
you
fire
to
against an
remember.
individual who
Military
attempts to
necessity.
take possession
There
of
has to
friendly
be a
force,
reason to use that
weapons,
force.
ammunition,
Proportionality,
or
you
protected
have to
property.
use forces
And there
proportional
is
to
no
what's
way of
happening.
avoiding this.
And unnecessary stuff. Like this is victory to the Serbs, so you don't do that kind of thing. Well, we don't know what those are, so kind of go with the flow. If you do something and it elicits a reaction that you didn't expect, you know, it goes without saying, right? It's not our place to go out there and make decisions on who's right, who's wrong, who did what. That's not our place. And the rest was the administrative stuff he covered. So let's go into the scenario. I'm going to read through it one time, and then we'll draw out.
Who's driving 7? Who else has a license that can drive 3?
What's his plan of trying to get
soldiers to talk or what information or who he's letting?
There's actually 2 roles here. We're escorting that guy to get his.
No, are there going to be other soldiers out there that he can talk to, or no? You don't want to talk to us. He'll talk to the villagers, and then he'll want to get our take on it.
See that marker or whatever it is? Everybody needs a little expertise.
When they're done with the
If you want to pull up over here.
When? Very good. Put that in there.
The holy warriors and the Turcheks are the enemies?
Yeah.
As soon as they're done with the marker, we'll put our key points up on this.
Say like light, heavy, or moderate? Sure. Eradicate based on...
If we knew how many was killed, we would actually
Because
give an estimate
of our allies,
number.
2 were killed.
As far as like POWs who were taken?
Nope, none of that's mentioned there. Good question though. Let's do the 5 W's test. So the who, we know who that is, right? Staff sergeant. What? Continuing mission, so nothing special happened there.
So there's the line.
We don't want to go into specifics on how he died, even though we have that. We don't want to go into specifics of his family. You guys understand that, right? And there's no secrets there, right? Okay.
When push send, you let us know where you're at.
Let's real quickly review some of the talking points that speak specifically to our scenario. We are committed to minimizing civilian casualties and friendly fire incidents. When these occur, they are investigated in detail. Another good point is in conflict, accidents result in the death of civilians occurs. We take extraordinary measures to ensure these accidents don't happen. When accidents happen, they are full. A good point to always make is coalition forces are committed to reconstruction of Avon.
So I'd say no more joking around, no more, because they're going to be asking us questions driving out there when we're eating.
Well, once we walk out of the office, we'll just.
I'll keep this video won't be shown to the press, will it? We got our press release on there?
You gotta put whatever you do to end it there.
It's a press release.
Yeah, I guess the only reason I think is because, you know.
Takes the focus off of why they were actually there.
Yeah. That's my opinion, but again.
That should be like toward the last game.
You did the stuff real world, so that's why. I mean, I've only been exercise stuff. And then put the I got 3 right here. You want to drive? 3? Times 4, right? They're all 4-seaters. 12 seats together. Two median, 2.
They're going to want an observer control.
So we want to go on
Myself,
I can do that.
and we're going to throw the other people in the back part. Press. Either way,
Well, I mean, but you want to say what their mission is, right? Right, this is part of the continuing mission to run out the... Right, not, right.
Everybody except for the driver.
You know, what would that for?
You guys will stay in, and we're gonna break them up.
Right, I guess that's true.
I mean, shouldn't we, and this is just my inquisitiveness, but before we send the media out to where we're gonna go, I mean, do we know
It's part of the
what's on the other
team.
side?
You gotta reach
I mean,
out, all
who
that
are we meeting?
You're gonna link up with
Ourselves.
With the mayor?
Is the mayor gonna be fucking mobs of cops and
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know, we might be able to, what kind of worms, we go out there.
Right. I mean, are you on our team, or are you just
we see all this.
In the real world.
Is the Army providing any sort of relief aid in the interim?
No, I really can't answer those questions for you. Anything I'd be saying would either be hearsay or speculation. Generally, yeah. It depends, of course, upon the battlefield situation.
But is this a declared war?
At this particular point, no. They're working some gray areas that are far out of my expertise, but I do know that I can tell you this, is there have been historically times where the Geneva Convention has come into play, or at least been agreed upon, even when war has not been declared. So you can certainly get it to a lawyer, so that there's a legal opinion on it, official legal opinion. Again, it's hard for me to answer questions on the truth matter is, I don't know.
So what's your responsibility here?
Basically, what I'm responsible for the health, safety, and welfare of the people that are in this.
69th President?
Right, and also I'm to a certain extent responsible for quality control. And what I mean by that is to make sure that the soldiers that are working these stories for you are doing the best job possible.
How many personnel are assigned to the 69th President?
We have about over 20 folks, all total.
Where are you guys from?
Fairfield, California.
We came a long ways.
We do that though, that's kind of our job.
Captured any prisoners? If so, where are they being held? And what are their rights? We don't know if they've captured any prisoners, but all prisoners captured by coalition forces are given the same rights as everybody else under the Geneva Convention, yada, yada, yada. Right? Okay. Did the bomb kill any women or children? We answered that question. Were there any chemical munitions utilized? And if so, what type? What's the answer there? No. There's no confirmed reports, but what's the real answer? The U.S. does not and will not use chemical weapons, right? That's the standard DOD party line answer. Cool? Will not, does not, use chemical weapons. So I think we've answered most of the questions, right? Except the, what's the other one here that I couldn't read? Is the Army bound by the Geneva Convention regarding the treatment of detainees? You know what you could do? You know what we do on that one? I think because that's kind of a gray area, right? We'll refer them to the proper, DOD authorities. That would be my recommendation, because we're kind of fighting the tactical public affairs battle down here, not so much the strategic or operational fighting. And I think that would probably apply to some prisoner issues as well. But you got to work around that, right? Stay in your lane. The key thing is stay in your lane. If you don't know, say you don't know, and you'll get back to it, right? If we're never going to have the answer, then refer them up. And what questions will be answered with the press release, and when we go out and escort them out to those appropriate sites. Good.
One point about it is policy of the United States Force surrender first day.
Yeah, I'm just saying we don't know. We don't know. We just don't know if that's been the case or not. That's my point. If we don't know, say we don't know. What I'm saying is don't.
Are we giving first aid to the head?
Yeah, is that what it said? I couldn't read this right.
That's what it said. First aid to the head.
Yeah, we are. Always.
First aid last, right?
Yeah, no. You know where they're got their base ops at there, Captain? Which base ops is that? These guys out here, the military guy?
That's for operational reasons, so we can't talk about it. This is an ongoing mission, but I can give you some specifics. I want to get everybody on the ground, give everyone a brief. I just talked with the commander on site. We'll get you some information.
Where's he at?
Where's the commander?
Yeah,
We'll set up opportunities for interviews with him as well.
Okay, so he's not here right now?
He's here.
Can I talk to him?
We'll set those up in just a minute. I want to make sure you get opportunities to talk with everybody. We got the soldiers here who are the public affairs guys. They're more than happy to answer your questions. They're a little more in the know, obviously. They're not on the ground.
You're all public affairs guys, these Auditorium 16s?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You can pass that message along to folks at home. I'm sure it'll help a lot of people. It'll be easier. It's kind of a scary mission. People know where their
Make
kids
sure
are.
I'm going to advise all my readers.
Well, I just want to know what really, I know we're here down here talking, but I just want to really talk about, what happened to the soldiers who got shot. I heard it.
Yep, in a little bit. Okay. I'm going to get everyone together.
So, but it's safe to say that we are at war.
It's safe to say that the Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States, has said this is a war on terrorism, so I think it's safe to say that, yeah.
Okay, so war on terrorism.
There's one shot. Are there any other casualties? Is anybody else was shot here?
Again, what was in the initial press release is the information that I have, so I don't want to speculate on anything beyond that.
Okay.
Gentlemen, if you could, bring it in. Let's go over a quick site brief. You guys can take loose for a second.
Okay.
All right. Kevin, man.
They've expressed an interest.
Okay. 2 or 3 individuals. Folks would also like to talk with you. I'd like to give you a brief on kind of some public affairs type issues before we do anything. But I'm gonna. Is that okay? Would you mind speaking with the media? Okay. Thanks. I need to watch this as well. Anyways, let me give you some ground rules for the site. First off, this is fair game. The backdrop. If you want to film some of that, sorry, Clipperton, where are you?
Yes, sir.
If you want to film some of the backdrop, these buildings are on site. On the other side of that are some locals. They've expressed some speculation in terms of whether or not we're really on their side, and obviously some trepidation on trusting us. There have been a couple who have expressed some interest in talking to us, so I'm going to set up interviews with that. However, please only talk to the folks I've asked you to talk to. There's going to be other folks around here.
We can't talk to anybody.
Reason being, again, that fear of the media, and it could turn into something that we don't need to have happen here.
What if they want to talk to us?
If they want to talk to you, absolutely. But let us facilitate that, because we want to make sure. I'll be more than happy to let them talk to you about whatever, but I want to make sure.
Yeah, we'd like to make sure we talk to everyone so we get the whole story.
Absolutely, yeah. I want you to have the whole story. I want you to
fair, unbiased reporting. So
absolutely.
We wouldn't want to think that you're selectively
not at all. I just want to make sure that it's not the guy waves at you and then we walk over and talk to him.
Okay. Well, as long as you guys are with us, and it's okay for us to talk to them, right?
Well, again, let me.
Someone is with us, that's fine. Right?
Let me make sure it's me, and let me talk to the.
Okay.
Let me please talk to the on-site commander, because again, I'm sure you guys aren't any more of an expert than I am, because unfortunately,
Who's the on-site commander here?
His name is Captain Nab. We'll be able to talk to him. Nab,
Oh, okay.
sorry, Nab. And we'll be able to talk to him in just a minute. But first thing I want to do is let's talk again about that. And everyone else, same kind of thing. Folks are walking around with weapons. That's the normal part of this culture. Okay? Don't take that as a provocative action. Second of all, I want all the weapons pointed towards the ground. Okay? Let's not do anything to provoke anything on our side. Weapons are for our protection, not to harass, not to intimidate people. Okay? Again, I guess I'll talk to you guys offline, away from this meeting, in terms of who exactly you want to interview.
Okay.
I'm sure you want the commander. I'll get him up here first. Okay? I'm going to go talk to him, make sure that he's available to talk to you. He can break away from his duties that he has. We'll address you. I have my cameraman available. The film we provided.
Actually, you know what? I really want to talk to the POC first, and once we do that, I want to kind of we want to really talk to some of the people around here first, and then maybe after we do that, we can talk to you guys. Is that okay?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I intend. Like I said,
But you guys are going to provide us with chow and water and the rest of the stuff out here? Is that needs to go through?
I've been informed now. I'm going to call higher in the morning.
Okay, good.
All right. Avoid the name of his family, if at all possible. We have notified them, however, it's only been 2 days, and I'm sure that they don't, if we can not contribute to the fact that people banging on their doors and saying, hey, we want the story, how do you feel about your husband being dead, and so on and so forth. It's obviously a very sticky situation. Remember, operational security, don't discuss anything about ongoing missions. Just a second, please. Too much out of line. But anyway, that's really about it. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, I just thought that the name of the individual was...
Absolutely, the name is
well
releasable.
known and released.
But it doesn't help anybody when we say, yeah, he has a wife and 2 kids at home that are crying because their dad is dead and they're questioning the war and so on and so forth. Those aren't really helpful this time, especially when we don't know all that. We're here, we're not in the States. I'd also like you to remember just operational security. It's real easy because, look, I'm a line soldier too. I came from field artillery, and how easy it is to say, hey, we rolled a platoon out here, we did this, we did that. Please speak in general terms, just because those kind of things can be used against you, and I wouldn't want that to happen. If they know the Special Forces operate in groups of whatever it was you're operating in, that can be used against you at a later time. Okay? So, all right. Well, if you're willing to talk to him now, let's do it. Okay, gentlemen.
Hi.
He's all set.
Okay.
Just a second, let me get my cameraman down here. Sorry,
Got a lot of stuff going on over here, okay? All right. So what's going on? We heard there was a soldier that got shot out here. One of the special soldiers. Got shot. Can you tell me what happened, sir?
Well, we had a staff sergeant that was killed a couple days ago.
A staff sergeant? Yes. Okay. Staff Sergeant Copeland? Okay. What happened? What else? I mean, how did it happen?
Well, basically, all we know is that he received some fire from outside the village. He was a victim of that gunfire. We don't know who it was that fired those rounds into the village at this time.
Okay, so it's from friendly fire?
No.
We got reports it was friendly fire.
That's what we heard. We heard, friendly fire. Was there any other casualties
As far as I know, it was not friendly fire.
Okay. How many people you have here on the grounds right now? How many people are over here on the grounds?
I won't be releasing information.
Okay. Any other, there had to be anybody else, so he's the only one, right?
Okay.
Any reports of any civilians being killed?
Yes, there were some civilians killed, but we don't have a definite count at this time.
Okay.
By the same fire?
Yes. The same fire coming from outside the village, directed toward us and obviously the individuals in this village. Yeah, Captain Knapp?
Okay.
Yes.
Talk to civilians over there. Is there any problem with that?
No, there are a couple individuals in particular who would like to talk to the media. Some of them I know would not want to talk to you. So.
Okay, well, I'd like to talk to everybody because I understand I'm here to get the fair unbiased story, but I need to talk to everyone over there.
Okay, I think
I'm sure you're not trying to hide anything.
Oh no, I'm not. I think it'd be a good idea to bring their leader forward, and then he will determine.
You can determine which one that we want to talk to?
Certain individuals.
All of the English-speaking people if possible, so we can get the whole side of the story. Not to say that you would try and hide anything from us, but we owe it to our readers of my magazine, which are very high class, to get the whole story.
Did you see what happened?
Conspiracy with the Tarshik. Yes, so that you believe it's a conspiracy? Yes. American conspiracy. It's all bad. Have any of your people been hurt?
Fitz stands to him.
Soldiers?
And
Those three?
No. Chris. Okay. Make sure that we're adhering to the things that we need to do.
He knows Geraldo also.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Fitz. ABC. How you doing?
They're dead. Dead? Dead. Died? No medical attention? Dead. No one helped them? Tarshiks. Americans. Bad.
Did anyone help you here, on site here? Did they help you with medical attention?
These folks are going to get a little agitated, okay?
Well, I got to tell you right now, I have concerns, some concerns that maybe U.S. forces here. Maybe we should talk offline. You want to talk in front of all your
I just want to go. You go talk to him, but I want to go forward over here.
Sure.
Right.
I'm gonna hook you up with Sergeant Barker here.
Okay. Hey, how you doing, Sergeant Barker?
He'll be able to help you out.
Okay. Well,
There
maybe
is
you can
one
have
more
some
individual
stuff.
that we should speak to.
Right.
Right there. In the light blue.
Okay, I can walk down and talk to him.
Wait. Geraldo, wait.
I just want to go over here.
Geraldo, wait. They're mine.
We need to limit them out.
Okay. And what do you know about the operation?
What happens if I interview the building?
Okay. All right. You know how many? I mean, it's saying someone got hit, someone got killed.
Unfortunately, that also puts me in a position where
That's why I want to come over here.
suppose when we disobey what the commanders asked us to do.
Well, we have a problem here because it appears to us that you guys are trying to cover up what happened here.
Gentlemen, I'm going to say this one last time. If the captain has to tell you again, not only will you be removed from this site, but I'll see that your press credentials are yanked and you're on the first bird home. Now, you will comply with what the captain has to say. Are there any questions with that?
Right, that should be, I mean,
Right,
I don't understand why we have to, be just stationed right here. I mean, why can't we go out here and talk to all these people out here, sir?
Okay, we need to, let's communicate here. Gentlemen, have no problem.
I just want to go over here and talk. We got a lot of people over here talking.
The commander said we
They're
can talk
walking around.
to. I understand that. We don't need to start talking about
So I'm prepared to write that you
Okay.
refuse to let us interview at the site for what happened.
Son, you write what you want to write. I'm telling you that decisions are being made right now for your own personal
So
safety
you're taking,
and the safety of these soldiers on the
responsibility
ground.
for this soldier that got shot out here, sir.
I'm the deputy commander of the 5th
Okay.
Airborne Division.
All right, so,
Gentlemen,
so look at this, and we got this problem right over here.
Get this
Tell
man
me
off site now.
something. Tell me something.
So we need to keep our voices down.
Escort this person off this site now.
Why? Why am I being escorted out here? Why? There's no reason.
Gentlemen,
all I want to do is just talk to these people so I can tell everybody in New York about what's happening.
Okay.
That's all I want to do. So the people who want to say something.
Don't matter.
So why can't I talk to them?
You don't have a
Okay.
right to interview anybody that doesn't
what
want to be
happened down
interviewed.
Okay, he wants to be
Just
interviewed,
hear
so
what he said.
I understand.
Fine. What you need to do is start cooperating with General.
Sergeant, get this man off
Why?
site now.
Would you move?
Take him off right now.
Okay, I'm gonna tell people about this in New York.
All right,
Listen,
this is enough.
Why am I being attacked?
Hey, man.
Captain, he's to be taken off this site now.
Yes, sir. Gentlemen,
Report that too.
please, feel free to report what you need to report. Gentlemen, come here. Let's have a talk real quick.
I think you guys are, let's stop an investigation.
Chris,
You understand, we have rights too. All we want to do is go, we just want to report.
Guys, go run in your mouth for a second and listen to what he has to say.
I understand. Gentlemen, if
That's
you
all we
want to
wanna
have,
do.
gentlemen, if you
That's
want
all
to
we
have a
wanna do.
conversation, I need to be able to talk here, okay?
Okay,
Provide me with the opportunity to talk.
okay.
Okay. What needs to happen here is that we need to listen to what he said. The general obviously has some issues with what you're doing. I'm going to go talk to him. I'm going to see what I can do about keeping you here. We don't need to talk about pulling credentials. We need to talk about that. We need to calm down. We need to keep our voices down. We need to stay calm, cool, and collected, okay? That's all I'm asking. Offer me that respect as a professional, and I'll offer it back to you. There's another individual.
I want that man off this site.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Captain, I don't know where the hell you got your commission, but in my army, when a general officer gives you an order, you follow it.
Roger,
now,
sir.
I want that reporter off site now.
Yes, sir.
The other one can stay. Okay? I want that other reporter off this site now.
Okay, sir.
Move out, reporter off this site now. I don't want to hear anything out of your mouth but yes, sir, and then I want that order executed. Move him off this site now. Move out.
Yes, sir.
You're afraid. You hear the truth.
That means
Gentlemen,
he has to go too. So
gentlemen,
he leaves.
Gentlemen,
We all
please.
go.
please.
Right.
We talked about professional respect.
I know. I'm respecting
Let's walk
that.
this way, okay?
Really,
I want to talk
Am
to
I
that
telling you-
soldier right now when he's here. He told us that he wanted to talk to you.
I want to talk to that guy.
I want to talk to that
That's holding that
soldier
stick
and
right
I'll
over
leave.
there.
Gentlemen,
I want to talk to that soldier and then I'll leave.
gentlemen, you are tying my hands. I need you to cooperate with what I'm asking you to do.
Right.
If you want me to try and work this out, I have some options.
But you understand, we got a
You-
soldier that was shot out
I
here.
understand.
He was
You
killed.
keep up
Yeah,
this
he has
line
a
of
family.
questioning.
He has a
Keep up this
wife
line
and
of
2
questioning.
kids. How are you going to answer that, soldier? How are you going to answer? How are you going to talk to that soldier's
Gentlemen,
family out there?
gentlemen.
Out there in New York, everybody wants to know that.
You are not
okay?
helping your
So what are
cause.
you going to do
You
about
are
that?
not helping
I
your
want to talk to
cause.
these people so I can get the information that I need
Okay.
so I can tell everybody.